Good evening, friends. This is Bill McDonald, the Common Sense Math Doctor. Welcome to the scarcity of a product, a service, or a good, and how that affects us. It was a third grade question this past year in Texas in May and only got 20% correct. So apparently your students didn't understand there's a direct relationship between what we call supply and demand. If the supply, the quantity of a good, a product, or a service is pretty much the same as the demand, the number of people who want that product, good, or service, then the price does not fluctuate very much. But if the supply of something goes down, the product, the good, or the service, and the demand stays the same, what's going to happen, especially if the demand increases, what's going to happen is the price will increase because there's just not enough of that quantity, that supply of that good, that product, or that service. If the opposite happens and there's a high supply, there's plenty of goods and products and services, and the demand for it stays the same or goes down, what's going to happen is the price will go down in effect. So because the question did so poorly, I went ahead and made a special chart to help your students with that. But let me show you the question first. The problem is the part of that has periods, and the question is the part that has a question mark. So as you can see, it was question number 20 on the third grade test, and I made a mistake. It only got 20% correct for the statewide average in May. Student expectation 3.9b, the scarcity of resources and how that impacts costs. So your students had to have some sort of understanding of the relationship between the supply, the number of something that you have, and the demand, the number of people. So the product versus the people and how that relates. So the question said, in which week did Dahlia most likely sell her pineapples for the highest price? So if you look to the right, if you see the supply going up, if there's plenty of supply, that means the price will stay down because there's not a lot of competition for that product. So whether the demand stays the same or goes lower, because the supply of something is so high, then the price is going to go down. If the opposite happens and the supply, in this case, the number of pineapples goes down and the demand stays the same or goes up, then the price will go up. So here's what that looks like in my law of supply and demand. Cause versus effect. Because the supply went down, because of some reason, because this certain action happened, well, the effect, the result, the reaction will be as follows. So Remember that a supply is equal to the available quantity of goods, products, or services, and the demand is the number of people who want those goods, product, or services. If they stay the same, if they stay about even level, the relationship between each other is the same, the price will remain about the same. But here's what happens. When the supply, the available quantity of the good, product, or service goes down, and the demand stays the same or goes up, that causes the price of that item to go up. Let's see the opposite. If you have plenty of supply, there's plenty of the good, the product, or the service available, and the demand of it stays the same or goes down, then the price will go down. So when you look at these two comparisons, we're going to check and see the four answer choices, and here they are. Which one would most likely Dahlia sell her pineapples at the highest price? So we're looking for the highest price. Well, the highest price would be when the supply is at the lowest and the demand is higher than the supply. So anytime that there's more people wanting the good, the product, or the service than it is available. In other words, if there's more people that want those pineapples than the pineapples are available, then the price is going to go up. That's when the price would be the highest. So we're looking at part A of this AB supply and demand relationship. So let's see which one is true. Week 1, because the number of pineapples was greater than the expected number of customers. No, since you have so much supply and not enough demand, that's not going to be the highest price. That would cause the price to stay the same or to go down. Week 2, because the number of pineapples was the same. No, if you have exactly the amount of pineapples as you do customers, that won't affect the cost as much. You have way more week 3 is when you have way more pineapples, way more supply, product, good, service than you do people that want it. Your price is going to have to go down because you don't even have enough people that want that product. The last one is the correct answer because you've only got 25 pineapples. That's a low supply. And you have 50 people who are wanting that product. You have more people than you do product. And so letter D would be the answer because the number of pineapples, the product, the good, the service, is less than the expected number of customers, the people who are going to want to come and get that product. So I can tell that you probably needed to have something simple for the kids to look at. So I highly recommend that you email me at writing_doctor@yahoo.com, and I will send you a free copy of this Teeter Totter seesaw cause and effect action reaction relationship between the supply and demand, the law of supply and demand, and how it affects how they affect each other and their price. So email me at writing_doctor@yahoo.com and I will send you this for free.